Hey everyone, welcome to our webinar. Feel free to jump in the chat. We're going to be talking. This is different for us, so I know attendees are lower today. We usually do our webinars on Thursdays. I'm going out of the country on Friday, and I couldn't swing it. Daniella, I'm going to Ireland
I know. I'm so excited for you.
Friday. I'm so
How long are you
excited.
going to be there?
Just till Wednesday. It's so
All
short,
right.
so
All
short.
right. But
But
that's exciting.
yeah, super stoked about it. But I'm really excited to have you on because you're one of my favorite TikTok. Let me tell y'all how I first got acquainted with Daniela.
How funny is this?
Okay, wait. I did a video on TikTok for it was shampoo that dyes your hair.
Yes.
And it like blew up. It like went viral. Someone at mentioned you. I didn't even know you back
But
then.
that's not even how we got introduced. We got
No,
introduced.
but this was my first introduction to you as a creator. Someone at
Um,
mentioned you in my comments, like, well, let's hear it from your main girl, which is you. And I'm like, that's when I was like, who's this? So I went to your profile. I was like, oh, she does reviews. How cool. And then later, you and I got put into was it Star Creator
yeah.
program?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were like on a call together and we connected because we didn't like another girl. That was in
Me and
our
you were
group.
both like
We're like, who is this girl that
on the
looks
Zoom. Yeah. That was terrible. Yeah.
she was the worst? So that's how we became friends. And then we've stayed friends because now we're obsessed with this guy creator. I don't even know his name. He's like like a Gen X guy.
Gen
He,
X, he's like a baby boomer. He's
there's
like,
this, he like lip syncs to songs without his
he
shirt on.
shows his chest and he's like,
And these girls, 50-year-old
pine over
women
him.
go crazy for
Pine. Yeah.
crazy.
I
It's
wonder
so
where he's
funny.
from. He looks like a bloke.
He's definitely from the South.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is just, it's so embarrassing. So anyway, we became friends over that. But I'm so excited to have you today because we're going to chat about your life from behind the chair to becoming an influencer. Now you're this mega TikTok star. You're making all the money. And I want you to share with everyone how you're doing that. But I want to chat a little bit about your life first as a cosmetologist. So, I mean, how long have you been doing this? About how many
27 years, 28 years.
So you
Yeah.
came straight out of high school
So
and you
I
went
came straight out of high school and my parents were like, you're going to college. And I'm like, but I don't want to go to college. Like, I want to do nails and I want to do hair and I knew from like a little girl, like going into the salon with my mom and like watching her get her hair done. I would like look at all, the hairstylists and I was just enamored by them. I just thought it
love
was like such a cool lifestyle. They would all go in the back and smoke cigarettes. And like, I just thought that that was like the best job ever. They were all close friends. So I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And my parents were like, you could go to beauty school, but you have to go to college first. So I couldn't do like full cosmetology school because it conflicted with college. So I went to nail school because it was like more flexible. I
it.
went to
Okay.
nail school. I went to college at Dowling in Oakdale on Long Island for elementary education. I was doing nails now. I got my nail license. I was doing nails in a salon at like 19 while doing this. And I started my student teaching and I was like, screw this. Like, we're not doing this. Like, this is not how my life is going to be. Like, working with the 25 strange kids. Like, I want my own kids, but I don't
Yeah.
want those kids. So I
Right.
dropped out. I dropped out in like my last semester, and my
Did your
parents
parents murder you for this decision? Like what? Surely
pretty
they were like,
much,
yeah.
pretty much. I mean, I had to pay back all the loans. Um, they weren't happy, but they were also like, you're doing really well. Like I was doing well doing nails and I was making a ton of money. Like at that time, I feel like I was living La Vida Loca. I was like 20 years old, 21 years old. I had the nicest car. I had the night, like, because in
Yeah.
that day, like you were just making cash.
Right.
So from nails, I was like, I want to do hair. So I guess I was like 22, 23, and I went back to cosmetology school, like to get the full cosmetologist license.
Where'd you
But
go, if you don't mind me
Long
asking?
Island Beauty School in Hop
Which
Hop.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's like one of the biggest beauty schools here.
We know them well.
Um,
I know the owner. That's
or maybe
awesome.
even the only beauty school here. I mean, I
Yeah.
know there's some in the city and whatnot. So they took hours off. What is it, 1,000 hours? Do you know the
Now
requirement?
it's 1,000 hours. I don't know what it was then, but yeah, it's 1,000 hours for a cosmetology license in New York.
In New York, yeah. So they gave me, I don't know, hours towards that. So I didn't have to do the whole 1,000 because I had that nail license.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did that. And when I was doing nails, I would drive past this salon every night on my way home and I would look in the window and I would say, I'm going to work there. Like that. It was just like the most prestigious salon on, Long Island. And I ended up getting a job there and I worked there for like 17 years. It was like
Wow.
one of my first and like kind of only jobs at that point. 17 years later, I was married. I was on my fourth pregnancy and they shut down. It was like husband and wife divorce and like things got really ugly and we kind of like all split up like, cattle. And
Yeah.
it was a huge salon. I mean, there was almost 100 people that worked there. It was massive. So we all kind of split up. And then I worked at like another salon, but again, I was having my fourth. But I always loved it. And then COVID happened and then all the things. And I kind of like walked away from it a little bit. And then we moved. I got a job like one day a week at a salon, like around the corner. And I've been there now for about 5, 6 years.
And why do you like working behind the chair still? Because obviously it's not about the money at this point.
Yeah, I love the banter, I think. And as I raised my kids and I was home more than being out, it always gave me an outlet to be creative, to be social, to make people happy,
Mhm.
to um it's like going to a place where you feel good. You're getting dressed up, you're doing your hair, you're making other women feel pretty, you're talking to your coworkers. It's always light and funny. And it never was work for me. And I think that
Yeah.
that's why I always enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Someone in the comments said they can hear your New York accent, which is what
Yes,
I love about you. Of course, you can't hide that.
it's strong and I can't even help it. Sometimes like I try to, especially like when I'm doing my videos, I try not to be like, yeah, the coffee's so big. Because I feel like New York accent is so obnoxious. So I really do try to like soften it a little bit, but it's just
Well, I mean, we're going to get to your online creation, but I feel like, I mean, everyone knows Michaela by her, Boston accent. I feel like that's kind of,
it's not real. It cannot be
there's
real
no
because
way her accent's real.
we've all been to Boston. People
Right.
aren't walking around the streets talking like that. I
But
mean,
also, did you see her videos come out like when like how she used to talk?
yes. But she said that she would turn it off if she was
Yeah,
trying to be, and now I think maybe, I mean, she does have a stronger accent, but she like enhances it, like to make
for
it
sure.
more.
But like side note, what do you think about her new skincare line?
I'm like happy. I'm like total supporter. Like I'm not a
I
hater.
want to try it. And by the way, I know that like Jeffree Star is beating it up.
He
I
beat, he beats
super
her.
cute. Like the whip it, drip it. Like I feel like I'm a marketer. So from a branding perspective, I'm like, it's actually adorable.
If she didn't come out with something, it would almost be like a wasted talent. You know what I mean? Like she's done so much. She has 15 million followers. Like
Yeah,
to not create something of her own. I mean, I'm not even near the magnitude of her. And every
yeah,
day I'm thinking like there has to be something that I could put my name on or, something that I could invent. Or the thing is there's so much competition, but she has such an army behind her of people that are
yeah.
supporting her, that love her. I mean, there's people that hate her, and I get it.
Jealous. We talked about this. I honestly feel like if you hate someone like that, you
Just
have
on
jealousy deep in your soul.
Yeah, but I feel like she could be obnoxious. Like people just take it like way too serious. Like if you don't like the girl, just don't follow her. But to
Yeah,
start
stalker.
a smear campaign again, like you have nothing better to do with
Right.
your life than try to ruin this girl. Like that's where it draws the line.
That is the bad part of online creation, which I was canceled last summer.
I still cannot get
I came
over
back.
that story
I came back.
and how you actually showed up again. A
Everything
hole
just
in my backyard.
It just people forget about everything. That's the thing, is people forget. And I knew they would. That just made me want to just stick to TikTok shop because it's like anytime you have a strong opinion about anything, people are going to come for you. And so, whatever. By the way, guys, our chat is open. Please jump in the chat, talk to us. We want to answer your questions. I want to, Daniela, what your screen name is your main girl. How did you
Yeah,
come up with that? Why didn't you just go with your name?
because I did start out with my name. It was just Daniela Britt. And
Okay.
then I was like, I need something to be known by. And it kind of just like popped into my head. I was like, okay, main hair. Then I was gonna do your main chick. And I'm like, I'm not a chick. I'm like 47 years old. Like, well, this is like what I was 45. But it just sounded like very like, juvenile.
Yeah.
So I went with your main girl. I wasn't gonna do your main woman. So your main girl sounded good. And it just kind of like it just clicked. Like I lay in bed at night and I'm always like brainstorming things, but I think that it
Yeah.
wasn't available. So I had to put like underscores.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I like it. So when you got into online create, when did you download TikTok?
So I downloaded TikTok in 2020.
Just
Um,
like we all did, right?
just like
That's when it
people
was the
did.
most downloadable app was in 2020. It was actually during COVID when
Yeah.
we were all bored in our house and we're like,
Yeah.
we need distraction. And back then it was dances and stupid stuff.
Yeah, like my kids were on it.
Right.
So it was like, and that was how I knew about TikTok is from like watching my girls like always doing these dances and stuff. But I started out doing like the funny voiceovers, and it just we were all bored in the house, so
Yeah.
I was doing those like just to pass time.
And so prior to TikTok, were you already doing online creation, content creation
Oh,
on other apps?
no, I
You
was
weren't.
like
Okay.
a legit stay-at-home mom who worked in the salon 1 day a week. Not anymore after COVID,
Right.
and I wouldn't even know how to go about. I used to watch people, and I think that it probably dawned on me like, how does she do that? Or
So
how,
what was the first video that you made then that was in this category of you being a cosmetologist?
okay, so this is actually a funny question because I didn't start doing what I'm doing now. Like that wasn't my first step into this realm of content creation. My husband is in the military. He gets deployed a lot. The salon was just like 1 day a week, but I was like, I want to make like real money from home. Like I want to like I just had this vision for myself, and I'm like, I wrote down goals like what I wanted to achieve, and I was like, I'm going to do something like big. I don't know what it
Up
is.
until this point, what were you making?
At the salon, like
Like,
$50. Like
right.
I would go in, I mean, I only had a handful of clients left at that time. I
Okay.
And I would just go in, basically shoot the shit, do 3 haircuts, 4 blowouts, and a highlight. I would get my commission for the day and then the tips. But you go to the grocery store, you buy grocery, like, and get gas. I was done. Like, that paycheck was like, that ship sailed like long before I even walked out the door of the salon. So that wasn't even accounted for any kind of bills, or my husband always took care of that.
Right. And so your husband gets deployed and you're like,
I
why
mean, I'm
don't I
always
do this
like, can
for
you put
fun?
$100 on the Amex? Because I was always so bad with money. I think you and I have spoke about this before. I was always robbing Peter to pay Paul, and I would sell a kid if I wanted to buy something. Like, hey, does anyone want a kid? I got one for sale because I wanted to buy, a chair for the living room. Like I was
Right.
always bad with money. And not that he would ever say no to me, but it got to a point where it was like, Daniela, like I just gave you, like, where's the $500? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where that went. Like, and I didn't pay any bills. And I think that I wanted a sense of like independence, or maybe even like like contributing, or because he worked
Sure.
so hard and he's always supported our family. I mean, so I think that it was like I wanted to feel good about making money, if that makes any sense.
I mean, you're in your 40s and now you're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna start making money.
Yeah. So I come across this girl on Instagram. Her name is M. Walcott, and she was doing affiliate marketing from home. And I was so intrigued by her. And I remember she would talk about like how she promotes products and she makes commission. But, looking back, not that it was like a Ponzi scheme, but She was basically selling a course to
Yeah.
teach people how to become an affiliate marketer. And I bought into it. Now, the thing is, and I'm like super proud of myself for this because there was when I signed up, you could sign up for $1, you get 7 days free. And then if you pay the $2,500, you get the whole kit and caboodle. I didn't have $2,500. I had the dollar, but I didn't have the $2,500. So I did the 7 week course, the 7 day free course. And then I taught myself everything else. And I'm like, I'm going to do this without having to purchase anything. And I did it. I set up my systems. It's all about, do you know anything about funnels and
Well,
web?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to bake a funnel, an email autoresponder, all these things. And I freaking did it.
But
And
this was all going to be UGC content where you're creating content on behalf of brands to give them your
no,
videos
so this
or
was like nothing of the course. Like I was just selling the course to people. I wasn't even, I was
this
marketing
was MLM. I remember when this came out. This was like a couple this was after COVID.
legendary marketer. Did you ever hear of legendary marketer?
No, but I saw a bunch of people that I knew that were all of a sudden selling marketing courses. And I'm like, this is an MLM. These
It,
people are buying a marketing course to sell a marketing course. And
and
then
I was
those people are buying a more marketing course to sell. So everyone's just like reselling the same course.
exactly selling the same course and then selling it to other people. And I was getting,
I
so
did not know this was your beginnings. So
yeah.
so then you became the person that was selling the course?
So in 2021, I went like head on and I started on Instagram making those stupid little videos like,
I'm mortified for you.
more if I wish that I would have like known that we would talk about this so much because I would pull up a video of me. My kids make fun of me all the time because they'd be like, you're what I was doing. I would point to stuff and or pretend to type on the laptop.
Right. Right.
So
I
cringe.
mean, this is like literally an MLM. That is what
Oh,
this is.
so now people would either buy the course for $1. And then in the 7 days, if they upgraded that $2,500 commission, I was making $1,000 like that. And I did really, really good. I
Did
got
you?
I got on the guy's podcast. Like I was big. I got invited to like an event in Florida. I was doing really, really good. And shit started to hit the fan. I don't know if you know, like there's a girl named Chelsea we met, Chelsea Wimnett. Anyway, she made $5 million in her first year selling this course. And not that you're promising people that they're going to make money, but people would get into this course and then be like, I don't know how to do this. And then they would quit. So there was some kind of class action lawsuit that went on that they wanted to sue her for like giving false whatever. They were on the Today Show. So basically the company was just like, within a matter of like weeks, it just plummeted. So I
Yes.
was like, I got to get into something else. Like this like doesn't even feel right at this
But
point.
temporarily, you made pretty good money.
I did. I made like 80 grand for the year,
Amazing.
right? So that
From
felt
strangers.
so
Just
that
like,
felt really good.
yeah. Oh my
And
God, what did your husband think?
well, my husband didn't then or now.
No, then when you were bringing home $80,000, was he just
So
like,
it was like 15 here. It's not like TikTok. It was like
yeah,
very like dribbles and drabs of it.
okay.
So in the grand scheme, when you look at the 1099, you're like, wow, that's a lot of money. But $80,000 a year living on Long Island, raising 4 kids and whatever, not that it's
He
play
probably
money.
didn't even see it.
It's not life-changing money because the
Yeah,
taxes that I had to pay on it, I had a lot of debt. So I felt like even though I was grateful and it was a lot of money and I was proud of myself and all of those things, I still felt like it wasn't life-changing money.
right.
And when I was making this money, the bulk of it, he was in Syria. So we didn't get to communicate like as much as like the time changes was so off that when he would call, it was basically like talk to the kids. And I'd be like, I made this. And he'd be like, that's awesome. Like, he was probably like, what the hell is she even talking? She's
What is
probably
she
selling
doing in
shit
Long
out of the
Island?
house. Like, she's probably, I'm going to have no home to go back to. He probably didn't even understand. And like, he's dealing with his own stuff over there that
Sure.
it wasn't even like a conversation that you could even But
But
anyway,
this was your introduction to I can make money online. So
yes,
now I got to pivot this.
yes, pivot is exactly the word. So I met this guy. I know it sounds weird, but um on I don't know, I guess it was TikTok. He messaged me, and not to be mean, like I think he's just handicapped. And
Yeah.
he was just like a huge fan of me. And he lives in Detroit, and he was like my biggest fan. He takes care of his mom. His mom is very ill, and like you could just tell that he's such a good person, but mentally handicapped. And like we just I like felt bad for him. And he'd be like, Daniella, you're so smart. You know, you
You
could do.
actually responded. Oh my gosh, you're
I'm
so
such a weirdo like that. Like, and then he started like making videos like for my husband, like being in the military and like all these like photo montage, whatever. Anyway, um, he was the one who said, you should go on TikTok shop. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what's TikTok shop? And he he was the one. You know, I knew
wow.
nothing about it. And I researched it, like, you know, I was trying to find like creators that were doing it. And at the time I was getting into this, it was January of 2024.
Or because it came out in September of 2023
Okay.
nationwide.
So
So I mean, it hadn't been around a long
you
time.
needed 5,000 followers at the
Yes.
time to join TikTok shop. And I remember thinking like, that's impossible. Like I'm never, because as successful as I was, like this affiliate marketing business was really much on Instagram. Like it wasn't really so much on
Okay.
TikTok.
So you did not have the followers on TikTok at that time.
No, I had
Oh,
nothing, not one
okay.
follower. But this is where my career in the beauty industry really ties into what happened to me. So I remember thinking, like, how do I break into this? Like, how do we even get a follower? Like, I'm used to doing all these stupid affiliate marketing videos with, you know, it was just text on screen, like it wasn't really talking.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember saying, like, I'm going to do a video on showing women how to color their hair at home for half the price of a single process. And it went freaking mega viral. And I remember like it was like my third video, you know, like my first video was like, let's use the wavy talk. And I was so awkward and weird. And like I didn't know how to really speak to the camera. And I came on this video and I was like, stop. What did I say? I was like, you know, stop using box color on your hair. If you want to save yourself a couple bucks, use this, and let's do it together. And it went like, I'm talking like 3 million views. And, you
Wow.
know, I had 100 followers. Within a month, I had 20,000 followers.
Wow.
And I really think that it was the genuine like nature of the video. I think it was the fact that I was authentic. I didn't try to talk a certain way or sound a certain. I was like, this is me.
Yeah,
This is
you
what
were
we're
seeing
doing.
yourself. And you were teaching something, which is, by the way, what TikTok is. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a teacher. Like you literally
Yeah.
are like teaching people how to do something, and that's interesting and that's worth a follow. Because a lot of viral videos, they actually don't get you followers because it's just someone
No.
stupid. So it's like, that's super funny. I'm gonna watch it, but you give me no reason to keep watching you. When you go viral teaching someone something, that is when you get follows.
You know, people ask me all the time, like, oh, I want to get into this. Like, what's your biggest tip? And my tip is to always give away something for free. You either
Yes,
want to teach someone
love it.
something, you know, entertain someone, but that's not even like a guaranteed follow. But it's
That's
really like,
impressions. That will get people watching your stuff. That will not get you a follow. So yeah,
yeah,
absolutely right
because
about
you know you could do something funny today, but what are
that.
you going to show me in 2 days? Like I want to make sure like you're going to offer me, you know, something. But I really think it's like offering up that free information by educating someone or showing them something. Or and that's a huge one because a we're living in a time where everything is so expensive. And I saw it in the salon, like even with clients of mine, like Daniella, like I can't afford to come like every 4 weeks. Like, you know,
Right.
I just can't afford it. Like, what can I do in the meantime? And of course, so I knew that that was like a hot topic. And to show someone, you know, Amazon sells Wella, and I like trained on Wella. So
Yeah.
I knew, I mean, I used to buy my color sometimes. Like if I couldn't get to the beauty supply, I would buy my Wella on Amazon. and I sold it out off of
And
Amazon.
how did you know how to make it? Did it just come naturally to you? Because like it comes naturally to me to speak in hooks. I'm really good at speaking in sound bites and hooks. Was that something you, because there's a lot of people who could have made that video that went viral that you did that would not have gone viral because they don't have the on camera charisma that you do, the energy you do when you speak.
I
Um,
feel like hairdressers in general have that charisma. I feel like in order to, we were talking about this before, like I feel
yeah.
like hairdressers equal this certain personality style, right? We're usually very vocal. We like to talk. We have a lot of animation. Like I feel like any of the hairdressers, I like some of my bestest friends are all hair because we're all like one and the same. Like
You're
we're like,
animated and a camera is drawn to, and you speak with your hands and like you speak with
yeah,
your ass. And that kind of is like your New York way too, by the way. Like that does
yeah,
draw people. And when I watch your videos, they're very like, oh, you got to see this. And they're like
yeah.
this. And like they're very
Do you know how
energetic.
many people are like, will you sit still? I can't stand watch it. So it's like, then don't watch me. But then like half the other people are like, you are like so
No, people love
funny.
it. That's what people want to see.
But a lot of people can't handle it because they're probably like from like Wichita, Kansas, and they're like, "What's wrong with that girl? Like, why
So
is she like that?"
did you have to get your kids to like help you like get a ring light and set it up? And or did you just kind of know some of this stuff?
So I knew some of that from that's why it's like I'm thankful that I found that affiliate marketing
Yeah.
before because I learned so many tips and tricks about editing and about lighting. So it's like I kind of came equipped with not a little bit of knowledge. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, going into my first video and the virality of it, I don't think that I exactly know what I was doing because I mean, you talk to anyone, they're like, oh, keep your video like, under a minute because people have short attention spans. But when you're showing someone something, they're going to save it. They're going to come back to it later. They're going to watch it. Like, if you want to know how to do a single process on your hair, you're going to save that video and be like, all right, I'm going to buy all the stuff and I'm going to make. So it's like you had all these women like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And the best part of all of that was the people that came back and were like, thank you so much. Like you have saved me so much money. And then from there, I started going into like color formulas and, comment what color you are and we'll try to like find you the perfect formula. And then from there, I went to toners. And from
So
there,
at
I
this
went,
point, you're not even doing TikTok shop. You really are
no,
becoming an expert in your field, which is, I mean, you're a licensed cosmetologist, so you can speak to this online.
yeah. So that was basically where I niched myself into
Yeah.
like the hair. And then from there, because I wasn't doing any makeup, even though I loved makeup and it wasn't like my forte. So I just stuck with hair, how to curl your hair, how to give your hair a good conditioning treatment, how to glaze your hair at home. I was doing like if you want to like trim your angles at home, if you want to give yourself curtain bangs, a money piece highlight. And I mean, I think I probably went to like 50,000 followers in under 6 months. And
Wow.
then the thing is, this is where it gets tricky because from there, at some point, I got accepted into shop. And then I just started like blasting out those videos. And now it's like, how many more people can I teach how to color their hair at home? It's like that ship kind of sailed for me. I still do it every now and then.
Yeah.
Like I'll still, remake that video because there are millions of people in the world that haven't probably seen it. But
Correct. But also, let's talk about money. The money is in TikTok shop. Okay, you've
yeah,
done Amazon because you've done Amazon affiliation. Are there, did you ever try YouTube?
I never did YouTube.
Okay. So in all the different avenues, nothing hits like TikTok shop. Am I right about that?
Nothing hits like
Not
TikTok.
even close.
Not even close. But from TikTok shop, you're then offered so much more because now
Yeah.
it's like I'm working with all these brands
You
and
get the UGC deals, which I do want to talk about. I definitely want to talk
yeah,
about the brand ambassador stuff that you do. TikTok shop, what was your very first TikTok shop video?
I think it was the wavy talk.
Okay, so you were
That
doing, yeah, the hair tool.
Yeah. Yeah, like that thermal brush. And
Yeah.
I really, really liked it. I really did like it. And it was like my first, and I think that I bought it before I was even on TikTok Shop because I kept seeing people use it. And I'm like, that
Yeah.
looks really cool. And I bought it on Amazon. I mean, I didn't even know how to purchase from TikTok Shop. Like, that's how new I was at it. Like, I came into TikTok Shop and I knew nothing about it. Like, I
But
didn't know.
also, no one did, Daniela. I mean,
Yeah.
it launched September 2023. We were all just like figuring it out. I remember when it came out, I was just looking around my house because I didn't want to buy anything. I was like,
Yeah.
what do I own in my house? And I
Yeah.
thought my husband, my very first TikTok shop video ever was an ice maker, like the Sonic Ice.
Wait, now,
So like,
did you have, how many followers did you have? Like, did you have
I
those?
have 20,000
You did?
from because back in 2020 when I downloaded it and we were all bored in the house, I was
Yeah.
making videos and
Yeah.
I went viral talking about being child free by choice. So a bunch of people started following me because of that. So I started doing like a series like, hey, if you don't have kids, like this is how you can support your mom friends and just sort of like just talking about like that. And so that's how I got my following was sort of in that niche. And then I just started talking about other things that I probably like Scott Peterson and just a bunch of stuff. So anyway,
Yeah.
we're talking
Yeah.
about my opinions on things. And then TikTok Shop came out, and now you can get samples, and we don't ever have to pay for anything now. But back
Back
then,
then.
we
Yeah.
were we were buying stuff, and I didn't want to buy stuff. So I was just looking around my house, and I was like, what do I have that is on TikTok Shop?
And you had the ice maker?
I had the ice maker, and here's the secret. I'm just gonna say it right now. Anthony Civitano, thank you for joining. I think you came on late. Daniella went to your school.
Oh my God, that's Anthony?
You know Anthony?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I knew Lorene Clark, who was like she like ran like the office and stuff.
Look, he's going, aw, he's in the chat if you want to jump on that.
I
But
thought, I
that
thought,
is so, he remembers. So Anthony's like one of my dear friends. Like
does he
one,
have a
like
brother?
Anthony, does he have a brother? I'm sure you do.
I feel like there was like Sal. Yes, Sal and Anthony. That's so funny.
That is hilarious. So now Daniela is
Oh,
not
he's not
brother,
your
yeah.
brother, but Sal and
But
Anthony
Sal's the
ran
current
it.
owner of it.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying, oh my gosh,
I remember when Mr. Brader used to own it, which is like Lorene was my neighbor, LOL.
Yeah, LOL that. Look at you guys
Um,
are both Long Island people. This is because that's where Anthony lives. This is just hysterical
yeah,
that what a small world this is. Um, anyway, here's my secret. The ice maker I had was not the one on TikTok Shop. We all have our dirty secrets.
yes.
Maybe
Well,
later you'll tell everyone yours because it's my
I could say it. No, because then everyone would be like, she's such a liar. No.
but it's my favorite Daniela story. So anyway, I was just like, I'm just gonna do a video with this. And then that ice maker was $119. And you know it's hard to sell things that are expensive on
Oh,
TikTok Shop.
yes.
And so then my second video was I got hair serum, which I'm not a hair
Oh,
girl.
yes, you told me about that.
It smells like the Anthropology candle.
Yeah.
And I made $2,000 in 9 days, and I was like, I'm rich. I was like, baby, we're moving. Buy a
Yeah.
car. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. I'm getting a Tesla. We're
Yeah.
leveling up. I'm buying a Louis Vuitton right now. Like, I was like, I can't believe how much money in 9 days.
It's
And like
wild.
if you've been
Wild.
struggling your whole life and like having to hustle so much, and I was like, this is so easy. And that is nothing compared to obviously what I'm doing now, what you're doing now. Here's what I love about Daniela that I'm so envious of. Let's chat about the commissions specifically in the beauty industry because I'm doing fashion. I'm doing cheap clothes made in China where sometimes I get $1 for every dress I sell. Sometimes it's $7. Like the biggest commission I ever get is usually $7 on an item. Then I saw your commissions because Daniela and I we
We tell each other
screenshot.
everything.
Yeah, we are always like, how much have you made
Yeah.
today?
Screenshots of like our daily pay.
Which
Yeah.
is
What you
so
make this
nice that
month.
yes, I love that we've
Yeah.
been able to connect like this. So we've been able to share with each other. And whenever we share my sales and my views, everything,
Is
product
double.
double, triple yours, but
Yeah.
you're making generally more money than me.
Yeah.
Um, because your commissions are so freaking high.
Yep.
That's the beauty industry. What, like, let's chat. Like,
Yeah.
mine are sometimes 8%. You're getting like 20% sometimes on items.
I think that, okay, so the number one thing that I knew that I needed to seek out was big brands. Like, I don't want to work for like a company XYZ 78K. Like, A, I don't trust it. B, it's not well known. And C, I feel like these shops could disappear like overnight, right? So
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, I'm gonna start with what I know, which was like hair stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always used Kerastase, but Kerastase wasn't on TikTok shop. Um, I'm trying to think like of the thing. I feel like people found me, and yet I don't know how that exactly happened because I wasn't anything at the time. But I feel like it was a combination of like luck, determination, and just being smart about it. I wanted to be smart and I wanted to stay true to myself. And I wanted to only, I mean, people come on and they'll talk about this and be like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I felt like I could never be like that. And I don't think that I'm built that way anyway. Like, I have
Yeah.
to really be authentic and love something to actually want to talk about it or to even be able to talk about it because I'm not a good like fibber. Like, it just doesn't the words don't flow when I love something. So I feel like
Hmm.
I knew that I had to stay in a lane and like be true to that. I feel like clothes is so different. That's why it's like
It
hard for
is.
me. It's a totally like I said to you before, like you can come out with something beautiful on and me as a consumer, I would be like, "Oh my God, like I love that outfit." Like it doesn't matter if you say it's good quality. Like if I like it, I see it, I want it, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
Whereas beauty stuff, hair stuff, makeup stuff, you have to hit someone's pain point on how it's going to help them. What is it going to do for me? Show me how to use it. Show me what it does. Tell me what it does. It's more in depth
So
of,
while my videos, y'all, take about a minute to do, and I can knock out 25 in an afternoon, Daniela, it's almost like a full production. You're coming in with completely wet hair.
yeah, like full blowout, full, like, and, if you gyp someone of like the last curl, they're like, you didn't show that last curl. Like, they want to like come to your house and like lynch you in the backyard. Like, there's no, like, you can't cheat anybody out of like, camera tricks or people think that like, you're scamming them or you have a filter on or, your hair isn't frizzy. So it's like they always want to argue with you about how you're not telling the truth. So it's like I really like to show the every step. Like if I'm showing you, Dream Coat by Color Wow,
Mhm.
I'm showing them how to apply it correctly. I'm showing them that it needs to be used with tension with a hot blow dryer, every strand being blown out. So they're more in depth than just coming out in a cute outfit
Oh
and
gosh, that's why this is such a great pivot for kids who are in beauty school. Because it's like
absolutely.
they're young and hot, right? Like I keep saying, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be 40 this year. You're in your 40s. We're making this much money. Could you imagine if we were 20? Like
No, but I think also, and I don't know if this even like translates over. Like I feel like the work ethic of like these 20-year-olds now is not the way that we were built.
that
And
is true, but the potential
the
for someone like
potential for them, if they
that's
want
the
to
thing.
work
It's like
and make,
you're young, you're gorgeous.
yeah,
If you're
yes,
Alex Earl, like look at what she's able to do. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. Like, if
yes,
you're in beauty
yes,
school, listen, are you gonna have to work hard? Yes, but like your potential, like
yes,
they're at the beginning. They
yes,
naturally know how to do this. They
yes.
naturally know how to like look good
If
on camera.
if you have that talent, you would be wasting it by not coming online.
100%.
Because there's just someone for everyone. And I feel like that's another thing. Like, I feel like so many people come on social media and they try to be like this one because she has so many followers or she tries to be,
Mhm.
but you have to be who you are, like unapologetically, because if you're not genuine and you're not yourself, people like feel that. And like now I just come on and I F bomb and I do all the things. Whereas in the beginning, I was like, I don't want to offend anyone and I don't want to. And now I'm just like, whatever. Like, if you don't want to watch, you scroll. And like my people have found me. So as a young person coming in, which I think that you care less maybe when you're younger too, Like now it's like we have like reservations, right? Like I don't want to
Well,
say
what I love, and Mandy said it. Mandy is a dear friend of mine. She's actually a YouTuber for makeup. And she was like, people want to hear from women in their 40s. Who has the money? Women in their 40s.
yeah,
That's why I think I do well. And
yeah,
when I pull my stats and I'm like able to see who buys it's actually not it's not people in their 30s that are buying my stuff. It's like 50-year-old women. Because I'm like,
yeah,
that's who has money, by the way. Like these women have money. That's who's spending money online.
yeah. But you know what though, too? That's like tricky though, because I feel like 20-year-olds are like spending their money frivolously and like not,
Sure.
they see Alex Earl, they're running to Sephora to go buy
Absolutely.
whatever it is.
So, like, should your students pivot? Absolutely. But if you were on this call and you're in your 40s, like, it ain't too late. Let me
I
tell you.
just did, I mean, we talk about this all the time, but I just did, as I'm breaking out in like a rash, I just did that body coverage perfector. I mean, each video that I've done on that Westmore body perfector are in the millions, 4 million, 7 million, 3 million, are women my age that have age spots from the sun, from sun damage. And no,
You
there's no
crushed
20-year-olds on my page like buying that stuff. Like they don't want
it.
that. So yeah, you're right. Those are the ones that have the money and are going to buy the more expensive products.
Always. Okay, Danielle, what are you making? What are you making? How much?
Like
Give me the
monthly.
numbers.
So like it's so crazy like when I say it out loud because it doesn't like my
Does it
highest
feel
month,
real? Doesn't it sometimes feel like Monopoly? Because it like goes like it's just
it
like
doesn't feel real.
it doesn't.
Like it doesn't feel real, but my highest month I made 124,000 and now like I average like 40 to 50. Like
Insane.
it's sick. It's absolutely sick. But what's sicker is like the taxes that we have to pay at the end of the year. So like that makes me sicker than actually earning the money. And I feel like, why do I have to give it back to
I
you?
know, right? What are you doing? First of all, you're
Yeah,
mismanaging it over
yeah,
there. Just
yeah,
let me handle it. I know.
yeah.
But that is so insane because that's what I tell everyone. TikTok, there is nothing like TikTok Shop.
Nothing. It's a
There's
beast.
no sort of Amazon affiliate you could do.
The,
Like,
the commission on Amazon is so small that you need off the bat, like you can't just become an influencer on Instagram with 300 followers, put an Amazon link, and you're going to bring in the big bucks. Like I have like 25,000 or something on Instagram, 23,000, and I was making good money, and it still wasn't a lot, like because it's like 4% commission, so it's like you have to sell quadruple the amount in order to even make anything substantial.
the best thing to me about TikTok that I keep telling people is that with some of these other social avenues, you need followers for people to see your content. And I
But
know
that's not
Reels
true
is
on TikTok because
correct. That's what's
yeah,
so
yeah,
great
yeah,
about TikTok is that like
yeah,
99% of my sales do not follow me.
mine
Like you
too.
can pull those stats. Like people, like, yes, some of my followers buy my stuff, but for the most part, it's going on the FYP, the For You page. Strangers are seeing your content. There's just nothing, there is nothing like it. And I
Well, that's
thank
the
you
thing.
all
Like, people like, oh my
for
God,
putting
you
in
have a
the
hundred
comments.
thousand followers. Like, you
Yeah,
must be like, but those 100,000 followers, they're following me because they want like my styling tips. Like,
correct.
very few of them, like a couple loyal followers, like, well, because it'll say like followers that purchase from you,
Yes.
non-followers. It's always from the randos.
It's always from the randos. And so on top of TikTok Shop, that can lead people to UGC deals, which
Mhm.
Rhonda's on. You know my friend Rhonda. Uh,
Yes.
she's been in this industry a long time. She works with schools like myself. And she's a woman in her 50s. And she is, hey, Rhonda's
Hi.
making money now. But Rhonda made her first UGC deal, which I'm so stoked for. I've never done UGC content, but it was for a self tanner. And the company saw her TikTok, reached out to her and said, would you make us videos? Just Dropbox it to us. And she
It would
goes,
become Jen made me ask.
she was going to do it for free. And I was like, no, ma'am, we do not
No,
do it for free.
ma'am.
Because they're
Yeah.
going to put that on Instagram and they're going to make money off your video.
Yeah.
They're also going to put it on Amazon. They're going to make money off your video. So let's talk about UGC, which stands for user generated content. Let's talk about UGC deals because I know that's something that you make money with.
A lot of money. And I actually got like not insider like tips, but
Tell
I,
us.
I work closely with Peter Thomas Roth. Like they're one of like the biggest brands that I work with. And there you go. I love them. I love them. And I actually went into the city last week for like a shoot because they're launching like this big. Anyway, they said that all companies now in this day of age are not using celebrity influencers. They are not using anyone in the modeling, whatever it is, they are using small creators on social media platforms because A, it's cheaper, and B, they want real life people really showing the public, like, I'm a real person, right? I'm a mom and I'm putting something on and I love it. That says more than a celebrity like Kyle Richards that's getting paid 30 grand to like
Sure.
do a face cream. So that's like their, and I think that everyone's like following suit because they're finding that they're just like, there's no billboards anymore. I mean, except for in Times Square, but like, you remember on the side of the road, there was like, I mean, in Nashville, I don't know if it's the same as New York,
It's
but like,
it's for Wendy's and McDonald's, Daniela. I mean, that's the
but
only.
also also like there's no like magazines, people don't read
No.
magazines, the penny savers, and like there's no like marketing in that, like that's a thing of the
So
past.
on their own branded pages, they want someone like you popping up,
Yep.
someone who's just a regular woman,
Yep.
a mama of four, lives in
Yep.
Long Island,
Yeah.
and just uses this. And so, how were you able to get those deals? Did you reach out to the brands, or was it your TikTok content that got them
No,
green?
it was like it happened like organically, very slowly. It wasn't like, I woke up the next day and had, a million messages in my inbox like, hey, will you do that? But it's like one turns into two and then two turns into three. And now I'm working with like five huge companies that pay me monthly. So a lot of it's on like a retainer. So I have one company, I do 3 videos a month for them, IGK.
Okay.
And it's funny how that they like stole videos from me. And then remember, I was like, this is like
That was them. Yeah.
unacceptable.
These companies
So,
stealing videos.
so now they're paying me for 3 videos a month, $3,500. And it doesn't matter how many sales it gets, it doesn't, because now they take those videos and they're running them on Instagram as ads and they're running them on Facebook as ads. So
And
they,
how long are these videos that you're doing for them?
I gave them, what is it? Perpetual, what is it?
Oh,
Perpetual.
but like the video content as far
They
is
could
it
run it
live
as long as they
makeup?
want. I didn't put a
No, I
time.
mean like is it are they like the longer developed, well-developed videos, or are they just like minute videos of you using a product?
It's like my normal content. I just
Okay.
do like a quick tutorial. I would say they're probably like a minute long, if that,
Okay.
some
Okay.
50 seconds, but those are easier than like a full face of makeup but I do really love their products. Like I wouldn't take on a retainer deal. And that's one thing like I'm proud of. Like I'm not gonna just do something for like the money.
You're
Like
not selling out. Yeah,
my
but you
heart,
will try new things, which is actually
I
something
will.
and that's something you taught me because I was like, I'm not a makeup girl. Look, I'm like, I literally have like no makeup on my face right now. I'm not a makeup person, but I know makeup sells well. And you keep telling me, you're like, then try it.
Yeah.
Like people want someone like that, that's like them, like trying new products. So you've been able to try new products, but you've also been able to pivot your expertise in cosmetology.
Yes. I feel like that it all kind of tied into that. I
It
feel
all
like
it all does tie in.
if I didn't have those skills or like the confident, like, when you're doing hair, you're always like trying something new. Like, oh, should we try this toner? Oh, should we try
Yeah.
this bleach? Oh, should we try? So it's like you're always willing to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think today. You're always looking to like live on the edge, I think, a little bit, especially when like you're craving something new or because it gets monotonous doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
So it's
So
like,
you have one deal where it's like you get 3 videos for $3,500. That's a retainer. But what about sometimes a company will reach out to you and be like, "Hey, can we just run this?" And you just charge them like a monthly usage fee.
yeah. So I charge $1,000 for 30-day usage on
Mhm.
all other platforms. But then like I have companies and agencies that reach out to me. Like I just got a deal with L'Oreal and they reached out to me and they're like, hey, we're doing this campaign for like their midnight cream. I don't know if I should be saying this, but they were like, we'll pay you like X amount to like do these 4 videos. But it has to be authentic. Like it has to be like your honest opinion. They sent me 2 creams and I didn't know like which was which. So that was like really fun to do. But like just random things will pop up like that. And then people will reach out to me and be like, I'll give you $30 for, a video. And I'm like, get out of here. Like that's not, and now I'm more comfortable. Like this is for Rhonda. Don't ever sell yourself short. Like I feel like these companies have more than enough money to spend. So if they're going to run your video on all these platforms, like I used to be so shy and be like, "Oh my god, should I charge them 250? I don't want to charge too much because then they're going to tell me." But if they say no, they say no. Like this is
Right.
my price, this is my worth, this is my time, and this is what I'm charging. And most times than none, like they'll give you what you ask for.
I love that. And so do you have a manager or are you just doing this all yourself?
I don't have a manager, but I've actually like been thinking about getting a manager because I'm like so overwhelmed. Like I feel like some days like I'm like paralyzed with overwhelm because and I know it sounds and sometimes I feel stupid saying that because it's like you're making videos. Like what could you know what I mean? Like my kids will come home and be like, "What did you do today?" And I'm like they don't understand the magnitude of what I'm doing. They don't understand like how big this is. Like they see me in my closet like putting on makeup and they're like, "Yeah, mom goes on TikTok and like probably makes a couple bucks." Like they
Well,
don't
here's the
realize.
thing though. Let's chat. Like when you talk about being I too am crazy overwhelmed right now. I have an unbelievable amount of clothes in my house right now. I can't even talk about it and throw up. But here's the deal. When I look at what I made last March, I made $3,700 last March. I
Oh,
probably
last March, not
last March.
yes.
No, not this March. Yeah, yeah, last March.
From your income for your
For
job.
TikTok, for TikTok, I'm
Oh,
on
TikTok.
TikTok last year in March. I made $3,700. I have like every month like written down what I made. I probably did 4 videos that month. And so like if that's all you can manage, and that's all that back then was like, wow, that's pretty good. I mean, nowhere near like obviously what I'm making now, but that's what I can manage right now. I was making like 1 or 2 videos a week. Now I'm doing three.
But can I add something to that? It's
Yeah.
like it's like a drug.
Let's talk about that. Isn't
That's
that because now I'm doing 120 videos a month because the money is so good where it's like
and I'm gonna be honest with
that's
you.
why I want to tell people if you're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to be too overwhelmed." You are as overwhelmed as you want to be
Yep.
because you decide how much if you want to make $60,000 a month, you can do it. You just got to work harder. If you want to make $3,700 a month, great. Do 1 video a week.
It's like one of those things though where you I don't even want to say it like it's not greed, but it's like if I did that, if I did $124,000 in September, what can I make this month? And then, you beat that. And then you're like, so it's like one of those things you have to like check yourself. And me and you go back and forth all the time.
Mhm.
Like, I hope that anyone that's watching right now doesn't think I'm a complete a-hole for like saying this, but it's like if I don't make this, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, and I hate when I hear that come, but like, who are you?
We are constantly checking ourselves though, because because
We
we're
are
always
checking
like, because
ourselves.
there are people, let's be
And
honest.
I
Okay.
don't like that because I came, my parents were very hardworking. My husband again is in the military. He risks his life jumping out of helicopters. Like that's his job. So it's like I am so great. Like I feel like I need to like check myself a lot and just say like you are so lucky that you even got this far. And if it all goes away tomorrow, like I did the right. I didn't go out and like buy myself all the things that I wanted, and
No. But you got a new kitchen.
I did get a new.
And
And so
I
that's
mean,
like something that I wanted for so long, and it's like our family and our home and our. But I don't even know remember like where this was getting, but
no,
we
in the way of like you can be as busy as you want, or you can be not overwhelmed and make a little bit of money. But here's like where I land, and I don't want to give people like false hope.
That's the thing. I don't want to put like a bad taste in anyone's
You
mouth. And
and I are, and we've talked about, we're in the top 1% on TikTok. You and I
yeah,
are we're in the top 100 of people making money on TikTok. That is not normal. Okay.
not normal. And I have
We're
major
aware of that.
imposter syndrome, I think, over that. And I think you do too. And I think we feel sometimes like what I was at a dinner with Peter Thomas Roth last week, and they're like, what's like your one thing that like bothers you or whatever? And I'm like, I feel bad for people that go to work now. I feel bad when a mom is like, "Hey, would you mind picking up my daughter from the soccer team because I'm working overtime and my husband and I'm like, "Damn, like I'm sitting in my closet busting out videos and I have the balls to say I'm overwhelmed when this woman is stuck at work 40 minutes away, can't get her kids off the like I feel bad that like I'm undeserving of it because I don't have as hard of a time making money. Like now my thoughts on people that work 9 to 5s, like I feel bad for. I mean, do
I,
you ever
uh,
get that way?
I
Like,
deal with that every day of I mean, I was sitting talking to my husband the other day and I was like, Nick, I made last month what you made in an entire year managing
yeah,
us in
yeah,
one. And there is a lot of guilt that goes with that in the way of like, first of all, you and I know this could go away tomorrow. It's set to go away April 5th,
yeah.
right? It's
Sugar mama. My husband will call me like and be like, "What did you make for today?" And I'm like,
we know you and I talk about this. We know TikTok could be gone. And when it was banned, when it was facing the ban before, Daniella and I were texting each other.
and what do we say? I don't want to be poor anymore. I don't
We
want
were just like,
to
I
be poor
can't
again.
go back to sitting in economy. Like, well, I can't go back to this life. And then remember, we were like, if it ever comes back, we will be so grateful. And it was like a week later, and we're like, we're sick of this. We're tired.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't want to make content anymore. But like, I will say, I am so proud of how you have been able, you were 45 years old, never made an online video. And now
never.
you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year online. Danielle, this is insane. You should be so proud. You have 4 kids. You have a
Yeah,
husband who has
I'm
served
proud.
our country and continues to. You are so deserving of this.
Thank
It's
you.
like the American dream story.
But I think it just like doesn't feel real, right? I feel like I still have a hard time like digesting it. I think that I still have a hard time accepting it. Like I remember my first video went viral and I fully went on TikTok shop. It was in March. And in May, my first video went viral. It was a Peter Thomas Roth video and I made $17,000 in one day. And I remember pacing I was at the salon at the time and like talk about hives. Like this happens like when I'm nervous or like when I was like breaking out. I didn't know what to do with myself and it felt really uncomfortable. And I didn't like the way that that felt because I never made that much, not even in a year. I mean, I always worked at the salon and I made good money, but it never was like this is life changing money. This is money that will change your life. And it changed. I mean, me and my husband, we had it hard. Like we have 4 kids. He was working the military and he was a fireman in the city. He was always gone. We never saw each other. We didn't have like much of a relationship because it's like between the kids and him working and like he never even let on to me like how tight things even were because he didn't want me to worry about it. So not only has this changed my life with my kid, but it's changed our life as like a husband and a wife. And like things are just so much better. And it's not even like the money portion, it is the money, but it's like the freedom that it gives you. Like I don't
You
have
just
to
went on vacation with your family. And I remember you talking about that. Like, this was a vacation you would have been
that we
wanting
dreamed for.
forever.
We could never afford that. It was just never we couldn't even afford to go out to dinner. Like, you know,
Mhm.
and it wasn't like we're gonna go broke, but it was just like, you have to like budget and I can't even explain it. It's like the freedom of just working from home and it's the freedom of not having to worry about a babysitter to get my kids off the bus. And it's like, but I still had that freedom being a hairdresser because I was always in a salon that was very flexible. And it was like, if you need to skip out at 3 to go pick up your kids from the butt, oh, you bring them back here. Like I always had And I think that I always liked that kind of lifestyle because salons aren't like a corporate world, right?
Right.
Salons are just like very like, you come and go. Like a lot of women just rent a chair and they come and go and you make your own schedule and always more lax than a corporate setting, I would say. So I feel like this like fit into my life so perfectly at just the right time. And I feel so super thankful and grateful, but it still doesn't feel real because I can't imagine that this phone allows me to make $50,000 a month. Like, why are people like want to watch me, right? But there has to be something that I'm offering them. And again, it falls back into like how to make another woman feel good, whether you're doing their hair, whether you're doing their makeup, you're making them feel like this is what I use to like get my hair like this. And I really believe this. And then the best part of all of it is when a woman comes back and said, I bought that hair stuff and I love it. And that makes you feel so validated and so good. Like, I'm not insane. I'm not, I do deserve this, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense.
No, totally. I mean, I always say my favorite thing is when someone comes back and is like, oh my gosh, I bought that swimsuit or I bought that dress. I
Yeah.
worked for my family pictures and it was perfect. And it did suck in my stomach. And like
Yes.
you really are, that's the thing is like
You're
this,
influencing them. I mean, I hate calling myself an influencer. I like
yeah.
creative better, but
Yes, me too. Yeah. But I
you're,
mean, at the end of the day, like they're gonna spend the money anyway. I'd rather them get an honest review for me because you do it too. I will absolutely. I just did it on a jumpsuit the other day. I was like, the worst thing about this jumpsuit is that these belt loops
the
stick out.
belt. I saw that,
I
but
was
you
like, I look
sound
like a
great.
teacup. I was like, but I just put a belt over it and it's my own belt because the belt they sent was kind of cheap looking. Like,
Yeah.
I am very honest in my reviews. And it's like, if anything, these women aren't wasting their money on things that you get and you're like, oh, this is a piece of crap. Like, I'll tell people, I was like, listen, I remember one dress, that one I make 94 cents off of, it's commission that went viral. Rhonda, you have it in green. I have it in red and green. It's like a long maxi. I told people in the video, it's like, listen, when you get this, it feels kind of cheap. It does. It feels like cheap material. But guess what? It was $10. It was
Yeah.
cheap and it
Yeah.
photographs expensive. Like
Yeah.
look, so if you want a cheap dress, it's going to photograph really pretty. But when you touch it, you're like, this is perfect for you. And yeah, people want $10 dresses and
And did
people
you
want,
sell a bunch of those?
I mean, yeah, I mean, hundreds.
Really? See,
Yes.
on like a $10 item, because you know what I find? I find that when things aren't free shipping,
Mhm.
people don't want to spend the money in shipping. So with the clothes, like something for $10 are they
Because
paying
the
for
shipping
shipping?
is $6.99 and they're thinking it's a $17 dress. That's still, if I
Yeah.
go on Amazon, I'm going to buy a $25 dress with free shipping. So that is the good thing about clothes is
Yeah.
that
See, what I do is so different
it
than
is
you
so different.
that
Yeah.
someone is going to say, like, oh my God, I could go to Sephora and just buy that now and not have to pay the, $7 ship, whatever it is, as opposed to,
They're
and
going
like,
to work out those kinks. The TikTok already, you're seeing a lot of stuff already is becoming free shipping. I really think as they become a strong contender with Amazon, they were second to Amazon last year in sales, second. Like it really is becoming a main marketplace. I think that shipping issue is going to be gone. I think things are going to start coming quicker to people because
yeah.
sometimes it does take a little while. But oh my gosh, this has been such a fun conversation. I have loved hearing how you've been able to pivot a beauty career into this. But my favorite part of your story is that you did this at you're 47. Like
Yeah, right.
you're doing
Like
this in your 40s.
it's
It's
crazy. I feel like if you have the personality, I feel like the biggest hurdle to get over is the hurdle of putting yourself out there. Because
yeah.
I think that, especially at my age, I mean, I got ragged on. People would rag on me,
Like friends.
No, 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 like strangers.
Oh, straight.
Like
Oh, well, yeah. You got to get over that really quick.
you
People
have
are
to
gonna,
get over that really quick and
yeah.
grow a thick skin. And I think that I'm I have grown a thick skin and this has allowed me to grow a thick skin. Like I used to be so insecure and so like, oh my God, like what are they going to say about me? I didn't want my high school friend to see me and what is she doing? And now that I'm so successful, I'm like, watch me what you want. Like, it feels
Say
good.
whatever you want about my big forehead. I didn't know I had a big forehead till I got on TikTok.
Well, I mean, I always got like the eyebrow comments and like your voice is so annoying and you're obnoxious and you're this and why don't you go take care of your kids? And so it's like, don't, it's uncomfortable talking to the camera at
It is.
first. So weird.
It is. And
But
you have to come off here. Here's my piece of advice, Daniela, is don't ever ask for permission to be an influencer.
mhm.
Just be one. Like
I
it's
love what you said to me that one time. You said because we were like, why are we like the top set? Like, how are we doing it? And you're like, because we don't ask permission. Would you
Mhm.
say you said something specific?
We have
We're
confidence.
very, yes, like we're
Yeah.
dominant and we come on and we tell you what you need. It's not like maybe you need this,
Yeah.
maybe you should
Hey
buy
guys,
it.
don't look at my hair. I just woke up and it's kind of like this, but here I really want to show you this dress, which is
Yes,
what a lot of people do is
like
they
that
bring their
timid.
insecurity. Yeah, they bring that insecurity to the camera and instead we come on with strong hooks and we're like, "Oh my gosh, you need this. Do you
Yeah,
want a bigger butt?" Like
yeah,
we both went viral with the same leggings. That's
yeah,
that's like one of my that's another way I connected with Daniela is
yes,
the Halara butt lifting leggings. We both went viral with.
yeah.
But we did, but like we weren't like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I don't want to turn around. We were just like, look at her
This
butt.
is it. Like
This
this is
is
what, yeah. And like I think we come in and we kind of like dominate and we both do have very strong personalities and that
yeah.
comes across and it's like when you're confident about what and that's why you always want to love what you're promoting because when you come in with confidence it's going to make
We
someone
said that before. The items that we sell the most of are ones that we know we
Mhm.
like that we love. I'm
Yeah.
never going to share something I don't love, or sorry, that I don't like. But like, sometimes I share things that I kind of like, but then I share things I really love, like a pair of jeans this weekend. I just
And it
really,
shows and it
and it
shows.
does. It shows, and even just in our confidence in the way we speak.
I made a video on Moroccan oil. They just came out with a perfume. And like
Oh,
I knew after I filmed that video, I'm like, this is gonna be a banger of a video because I didn't care. Like I said, if there is anyone that does not like this, I'll fight you because there's no way. And people lose their minds over that. Like, what are you talking about? It sucks. But then those people give you more engagement and then the post keeps going and
yeah.
it's got a lot of views and it's got a lot of sales, but it was like the urgency of like how you need to get this. Like if you don't buy this now, you're missing out. And
Well, you do just speak with this level of confidence, which is attractive to a buyer. So
absolutely.
what you want to buy from someone who believes in it.
But as a hairdresser, you have to realize that you're selling yourself doing that. And that's where I think I really thrived in this because it was like a client comes into me, I'm like, I hate my hair. Like I'm making sure this woman knows that like I am going to do the best and she's going to come out looking like a whole different person. Like I'm selling her my work, right? I'm promising her that what I'm going to deliver is going to make her feel good. And I think that that's how that transfers over into what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
And
no, totally. I
but
mean,
with
again, natural pivot. And we're over time, but I want to ask one more question. I don't make a dime from the start from the creator fund, which is
I'm not in
another
that.
way you can make money on TikTok is based on your views. Do you do that?
I'm not in it.
Yeah, okay.
No.
I left because I was
But
afraid it was going to hurt my views, and it actually
because
did.
I felt like every when you this is the thing is TikTok's not stupid. They're a business too.
Right.
So, of course, they don't want to pay. So, it is going to suppress your views. But I think that when you have hundreds of thousands and millions of followers, at that point, you're getting those views anyway. But for me, it's just like not worth it. Like, I would rather, and plus, like, I don't think that you could do the creator fund on shop videos.
You can't. So you have to have other type of content that would go viral. It has to show up on a For You page. It has to be over a minute. It was all these rules. And I think like, okay, I was in it for 2 months and I made 12 cents. I'm not kidding. Like that was,
Really?
I made 12 cents. And I was like,
Was the canceled video, were you in the creator fund at that point? Blue
no, I
toilet
got
paper?
out. It was my Scott Peterson video where I watched the Scott Peterson documentary and I was like, I'm not sure this guy is guilty. And that was like a hot take. And so like
Yeah.
I did a whole series on it that I mean, and But I think a lot of people like clicked on the next video to the next video to the next video, and that doesn't count on Creator Fund. And every video has to show up on an FYP.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I made 12 cents and I was like, I'm getting out of this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Guys, if you've taken anything away from this, TikTok Shop is where it's at. It doesn't matter how old you are.
No.
And that beauty
Listen,
and
there's women on there selling shrubbed plant, fake shrubbery, like killing it. Like those fake artificial trees they are the most hideous things in the
croc
world.
croc charms.
Croc charms. You could sell anything on TikTok Shop. It
And
doesn't
she's
have
making a killing.
Yes,
Like,
killing. She's selling these little troll lamps, like that are bent over. I don't even know what they are.
I don't
They're
even know what that is.
they're the most hideous things I've ever seen in my
She's
life.
crushing us. She's crushing.
I don't think she is.
I don't know. I clicked on her. She's crushing me. She's probably not crushing you.
No, she could be crushing me. I mean, but anyway, it was very nice chatting.
This was so fun. I'm so glad to have had you on. I can't wait for our next webinar next month. But honestly, I'm going to have you on again, Daniela, because I want to be continuing this conversation. This is something I'm passionate about teaching beauty schools this year. One of the top reasons people choose beauty school today is because they want to become influencers. And I will tell you, they can use their expertise in beauty to make a lot of money becoming an influencer or an online creator. Daniela is living proof of that. Thank you all so much for joining us today on a Tuesday webinar. And thanks, Daniela.
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
coming to New York and we're going to hang out.
Yes, I would love to meet you.
I would love to see you in person. I think we'd have a blast. This was so fun. Thank you all so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.